Right, guys, so you know how it's very important to be able to adapt to the changing market conditions as a trader, to quickly be able to switch bias depending on what price action does. And I think this idea here on AUDJPY is a beautiful example of just that. So if you've been following me for a while, you know my system. I like to use the daily 20 and the 50, as well as the 4-hour 20 and the 50 EMA as my base main system, right? So when looking at this chart right here, this tells me that I should go short, right? Somewhere, right? I should probably go short on the rejection at the 4-hour 20 EMA, or somewhere around the weekly open confident with the 4-hour 50 EMA. Like that's a great shorting opportunity, right? So if I'm looking to go short on the rejection of the 4-hour 20 EMA, the yellow one right here, what happens if you actually reclaim the 4-hour 20 EMA and the short ID becomes invalidated? Well, that is when I will start looking at a potential long scalp, right? So if we reclaim that level right there, the level where I wanted to go short for a swing short, if we reclaim that level, the swing short is invalidated, but we have an empty space right here where we might want to go long for a potential scalp up to that next swing short area, right? So let me show you exactly how I go about doing the TA if I want to scalp this instead of scalp long instead of shorting. So let's see here, price comes up and we move above the 4-hour 20 EMA, right? And we have a nice thrust candle right there. You go to the 1 hour. See, you have the 1 hour right here. Now, what I'd like to see here on the 1 hour is obviously a reclaim of the 4-hour 20 EMA. And also what I'd like to do is, when looking at the 1 hour for potential scalp, I like to add the 20 and the 50 EMA on the 1 hour as well. And what I want to see here is the 20 EMA to be above the 50 EMA, right? And the retest should be the retest should happen on the 4-hour 20 EMA, and that one should be in confluence with the 20 EMA and 50 EMA. And if the stochastics RSI shows a bull cross below 20, that's definitely an added bonus as a confluence. Now remember the empty space I talked about, the space between the 4-hour 20 EMA and the 4-hour 50 EMA confluent with the weekly open. The scalp long that we're looking for is to fill this empty space right here. We're still in a high time frame downtrend, so we can't really expect that long to reach very high targets. That's why when you're scalping against the high time frame trend, you need to be conservative with your take profits. You can, when using this scalping method, if the stochastics and EMAs and everything aligns, maybe you get a 1 hour bullish engulfing or a bullish pin bar, you can have a quite tight stop loss, so you can have very close take profits. Anyway, let's show you exactly how I would trade this, right? So you see price starts to retrace. You now have a bottom and a top. Now what I do in this case is I add the fibs to see if I can find any added confluence right here. So I do like the 0.382 right here. If we could get a bounce somewhere around this level right here, maybe some wicks down and some candle closes right on the 382, that's going to be some nice confluence. And it's not only going to be some nice confluence in regards to the entry trigger, it's also going to give you some very nice confluence in regards to the minus 0.236 up here. That is, we got that area confluent with the weekly open and the 4-hour 50 MA, so that is a very nice take profit area. It's also confluent with this level to the left right here. So what we're looking at right here, we're going to be patient and we're going to wait for price to come down and test this general area right here. So let's see what we get here. Stochastics RSI is moving lower, much lower now. Get a nice bounce on the 4-hour 20 EMA and the 1 hour 20 EMA. We never really hit the 0.382, but we are now using the 0.236 very nicely here as support, so that would be good as well. So let's see what we get here. Now that is good, right? Now honestly, what I would like to do here is either you can use the enter right here because you have a 1 hour 1 hour bullish candle right there, and the next 1 hour candle is bullish, so I really like this for potential long. Now what I would do if I want to take some risk here is enter right on that one right here. Stop loss should probably be below the 1 hour 50 EMA, the 0.382, and take profits somewhere up around that area for a 2.4 hour trade. Of course, you can have a very tight stop loss, right? A very tight stop loss right here. Usually the spread on AUDJPY isn't that big, so you can definitely have a quite tight stop loss right here. So right below that wick or below the 4 hour 20 EMA right here, and take profit up at the weekly open. That would be a very nice trade. So let's see how this would play out. Now you have that 1 hour nice bullish candle right there. You could of course wait for the third bullish candle and that one right there, have a very tight stop. That would still be a 2.4 hour trade, and you would have a the probability of this continuing higher is definitely higher. The probability is higher when you have that bullish candle right there. So let's see how this plays out. So this is where we're trading right now, and we are very, very close to the weekly open right here. So obviously that entry right there would have been a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful entry, and take profit would have been around the 4 hour 50 MA where we are right now. I mean, if you would have entered right here with a very, very tight stop, the risk to reward would be around 3.6 to the 4 hour 50 MA, which is definitely acceptable, right? So I would just exit right there. And now when you go back to the 4 hour, you would see that, look at this, look at this. It's still a pretty good shorting opportunity, right? If you add the fibs right here on that, from that high to that low, you will see that you are now testing the 50% fib. You're testing the area between the 50% fib and the 618 confluent with the weekly open and the 4 hour 50 EMA. So if we get a rejection here, that would be a very nice shorting opportunity, because if you look at the higher time frames, the local daily structure is definitely bearish with lower lows and lower highs. So that is a quick little tip for you guys, how you can find scalp longs or scalp setups within a trend that is looking different. So if you're looking for shorts but you find a good empty area between current prices and the level that you want to short, and you think price is going to hit that level for the potential short, if you go down to the lower time frame and you see a great long setup where TP is in alignment with the short entry, you could definitely take that trade. All right guys, that's it. See you guys in the next video.